But yeah, it's been pretty easy seeing what's going to come next. Just having our boots on the ground and being semi-aware, having a good lawyer for decades now, and great management throughout our career.
Have you guys been the same management the entire time?
We haven't, but we had the same manager for like over 25 years.
That's pretty close. I mean, that's, yeah.
Yeah, and then kind of flip-flopped around. But we've got Corey Brennan from 5B, who's Slipknot's manager right now. He's taking good care of us.
Yeah. I've spoken to people over at 5B and Corey as well. Awesome dude. Yeah,
it's a lot of fun working with him. He's kind of like put us on the 2-year plan. It's like this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. And I go, does it include Europe? And he's like, yeah, of course it includes Europe. I'm like, awesome. Fucking finally. Because that's the only thing I've brought up at management meetings for the last like 20 years is like, hey, there's this continent called Europe that we don't go to. Yeah, we haven't been in 20 fucking years.
You haven't been to Europe in 20 years.
Exactly. So
that blows my mind.
What does a cycle look like then? I mean, I just mean that in a very honest question. Like, how do you get a 16 to 18 month cycle after you release an album with missing an entire continent like Europe? How many shows are you playing in America? Like, I mean, I don't, in the yearly average, I wonder, 50, 60, something like that. And it's almost all the States. Yeah. It works. It definitely works. But it's like that, you're like not learning new things. It's a slow spiral down. You're playing to the same audience, and Corey saw that, and the other people at 5B saw that. And I think other managers have seen it, and I think other people in the band can see it too. It just takes a little bit more. It's a lot of effort.
You got to push it. You got to make it happen, right? You can't just hope it's going to happen. It ain't going to just happen. It's expensive, and it's starting from ground one. It is
starting from ground one. No matter who you like. That was our experience anyway when we started touring there. Probably 2006. Like 2006, 2007, we had all the success of our biggest album at the time, City of Evil, Backcountry. We're on TRL. All these cool things are happening. We're in our early 20s. Like, yeah, we're going to Europe. Yeah, we're going to Europe. Playing in front of like 10 people at a bar again. We're like, what the fuck? Like, what just happened? We assumed like we're like at least a couple hundred. Like what is this? And then
a full bar.
Yeah, and then we told management never going back. And then convinced us, and we were like, okay. And then it takes time there. Like they don't just like other people's crap.
Right.
They're like, no, you're gonna come here and you're gonna grassroot this. And if you do it, and you have good content, you're a good band stuff. Of course, all the stars have to align. They won't leave though. Like you look at the Maidens of the Worlds and everything like that. Like when they go and play their stadiums and I've seen it firsthand and the festivals that they're headlining for 2 hours at the end of the night and everyone's still up for them. It's like it is a completely different vibe there for at least metal. I don't know what it would be like for you guys, but I mean, I imagine similar. It's got to be similar.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it would be that different, but there is that lovely metal audience that is whatever standoffish at first, and then you're basically cousins, but at the end of the show, and you're definitely friends for life. And if I'm within 50 miles of you, I will see you till I die. And I love that. I love that about the culture. Anywhere, any music fans anywhere in the world, every genre. That there's so many subcultures. There's so many domains. There's so many ways of seeing it. There's so many opportunities to see shows. So I just can't believe that we're missing out on this culture that I really think could make us a better band by going through those kind of struggles again that younger bands go through, and will tell you that it's worth the trouble of putting the time in and the money of playing these shows. So you have, just another place to go. It's a big world. It's a huge world, and there's music fans all over the place. And I think, it goes back to like responsibility of the success and the longevity of the band and this mythology that we've created. Like, let's share it with as many people as possible. That's why we're doing this. So hopefully we'll be moving on to that. It looks like it'll be like a 2024 kind of thing, but at least it's on the table and it's in the conversation. And Brennan and the rest of the 5B people that we're working with are all about, touring does not just happen in North America. It is definitely an Asia, Australia, Europe thing. Like there's no two things about it. You have to include those things or you're dying. I'm like, fucking thanks.
We gotta come back.
I'm still dying
tour.
either way. Fuck, man, I gotta remind me.
Shit. Thanks a lot. Mortality. Yeah, I'll come back.
Yeah, because I'd be curious of your take on it. Because as an established band, Avenged, obviously, during that time of John, you're telling your story. You guys were still, finding your own, and you were a newer band at that time. So with you guys having like such a stronghold in the music scene as it is, I'd be curious if, people would have to be super stoked to see you guys finally make it over there.
Yeah, I hope so. Like, hopefully it'll be like I was there kind of situation when we'd go to Amsterdam and play the Milkweg, for a couple of nights, and then they'll tell their friends like, oh man, you didn't see that show. You got to see them next time they come. And, and they're coming back, because that's the thing Johnny's saying, like, they're not going to love you right off the bat. They're just not, the support system's just not going to just appear for you. It's not a net that's always there. It's something you've got to thread together through the repetition of coming back and putting on kick-ass shows and having that culture of the audience that is like a safe space and a supportive space for the people who appreciate the music. I think that once that happens like 3 times in some kind of a general area, you do England in a few places, you do Amsterdam, you do Germany a lot, and you establish Spain, you just, you put your foot down in all these places and you do it consistently throughout a couple of years, you will have a scene waiting for you. I promise, regardless of our previous successes, if we were a brand new band, that would still be the playbook that I would say for sure. You just got to act like you care, and they'll do the same.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's so funny because even as you're saying it, it's like, well, that's exactly what we did. It's just we were from here. You know what I mean? So like you started at your region and then you hopped around a little bit and you hopped out. Everyone always knew you're coming back. It's that whole, it just makes a difference. I'm sure it would be for any European bands or artists that may be listening to this too that want to break in America. It's going to be the same thing. You're going to have to come and then come back and then come back. It's not, everybody's, they want to see you over and over and see a progression. They don't want to just see, one thing and that was it. I'm good. Yeah. I just don't think that's how it works.
Yeah, I think we're spoiled here in the States. I mean, definitely within my band, we're spoiled in that situation where we can have endless support from the North American audience, given Canada and Mexico and the United States. It's like we could die on this hill, but why? Why? There's lots more hills, and there's lots more to see. I was so excited to do the traveling with the family, like we were talking about earlier. Like just going to a new place, like lights me up in a way like I can't even really describe, because I don't know, I've been to so many of the same places for so long. I've been on the same interstates over and over and over and over again, and I love it. It's my life. It's something I've definitely had a hand in creating, but I love that brand new, like the new information, and in my head, I'm thinking about like seeing new trees out of the windows, and going to new area codes and all those things. It's so interesting to me, even as like a 49-year-old guy with millions and millions of miles. That's still the same, like that wanderlust. That like what am I going to turn into by having a new experience kind of vibe, like all that. Just, I don't know, that lights me up.